Today, we're gonna dive into financial hacks that you're gonna wish you knew sooner. These financial hacks are going to save you a ton of money and time. And throughout the video, I want you to keep track of which financial hacks you haven't heard about and let me know in the comments which one you're going to use. Okay, let's start with the first hack. This is a hack that I wished I knew sooner when it comes to student loans, and that is make your extra payment count towards one specific loan. Instead of having that extra payment spread across multiple student loans, what you want to do is a custom allocation towards that specific loan. When you pay it off one by one, you're going to see progress much faster than having it spread across, say, 10 different student loans. Now, most loan servicers are going to push you towards the standard allocation. They're going to call that the normal process. But what you're going to do instead is you're going to pick a custom allocation and apply that extra payment towards a specific loan. This works when you've already made your minimum payment on your student loans. This next hack is to build your credit quickly, but do it without the debt. So when I was in college, I was frightened and terrified by credit cards. My parents had drilled it into me that credit cards are bad. They're going to get you into a lot of debt. So I just completely avoided the situation. Therefore, when I graduated, I had zero credit. A better way to building your credit is by using a debit card that actually reports your history to the credit bureaus. Now, Fizz is a great debit card that actually helps you build up your credit without going into debt. That's because it's linked to your checking account, and with daily auto pay, your account balance is paid off daily. And also your credit limit is actually linked to how much is in your checking account balance. I mean, this is super smart. What I like about this is it's going to keep you from overspending because it's linked to your checking account. If you want to try out Fizz as a way to build up your credit score, you can use the link in my description box and then use code DEBTFREE for a $10 sign up bonus. All right, this next one, I always blow people's mind when I tell them about this little hack, but that is if you have a solid starter emergency fund of a couple $1,000s in it, what I want you to do is go into your car insurance policy and update your deductible. You're like, how is that linked to my emergency fund? Well, if you have enough money in emergency fund savings to cover the full amount of your deductible, if you were to get into a car accident, then this is a no-brainer and it's going to save you tons of money on your premium. Now remember, the deductible is the amount that you pay out of pocket before your insurance kicks in. So I wanted to give you an example of what this looked like when I changed my deductible from $100 to $2,500. So when I changed it to a $100 deductible, my policy premium was $985. Now that policy premium is for every 6 months, okay? So that's over $1,900 in car insurance premiums that I would be paying every year for a $100 deductible. When I increased it to a $2,500 deductible, my policy premium dropped to $553. That's a huge savings just by increasing the deductible. Okay, these next couple of financial hacks are related to buying a home. If you're a home buyer or you're thinking about doing this in the future, I wanted to give you some pro tips. The first one is to shop houses during holiday weekends. Now, most people and most buyers will skip out on the home search during the holiday weekend because either they're burnt out, they have vacation, they have their kids, they just don't want to mess with it. But I'm telling you, if you shop during a holiday weekend, you actually weed out all those people who are going on vacation. You get more leverage and you have less offer competition because there's less people. Now think about things like Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July, Labor Day weekend. These are all great weekends to really go all in and talk to your real estate agent about this particular strategy. Okay, once you snag that house, my father-in-law gave me a great piece of advice when we purchased our first home just a couple of months ago, and that is to waive escrow. Now you have to get approval from your lender in order to do this. And what you're going to be able to do is actually make money this way. Instead of putting your property taxes and your homeowner's insurance into escrow, which is that special holding account that the bank creates on your behalf, and then the bank goes ahead and pays that for you, you're going to instead take that money you would have put into escrow and put it into your own high yield savings account, earning you interest. Now keep in mind with this financial hack, when property taxes and insurance are due, it's up to you to pay that out of this high yield savings account. So you want to make sure that you are on top of those due dates. If you can set that in your calendar, this is going to be a great way for you to make a lot of interest income on that money. All right, now after you close on your home, oftentimes what happens is your mortgage payment is actually not due until 60 days after that closing date. So let's say you closed in June, your actual first mortgage payment isn't due until August. So that gives you the whole month of July to kind of do whatever. And I think a lot of people end up using that first mortgage payment to buy home furnishings or do other repairs. What you want to do is still make that payment in July, even though it's not due. And you're going to put all of that payment and apply it towards the principal. What that's going to do is that's actually going to lower the mortgage loan amount, thus reducing the amount of interest that is accrued on that principal balance, which is saving you money in the long run. All right, number 7, let's talk about investing. And we're going to be talking about investing in index funds versus mutual funds. This is a hack I wished I would have implemented sooner. So index funds actually track the performance of a given index, such as the S&P 500. Now, mutual funds often have a specific fund objective or simply seek to beat out the market. Now, the biggest difference that you're going to want to pay attention to are the fees. Now, index funds are passively managed, so they have low fees, whereas mutual funds are actively managed by either a fund manager or a team and often come with high fees. Go into your investment accounts right now and check your fees. If you're paying high fees for those mutual funds, and an easy way to do this is look up your mutual fund that you're currently invested in and then look up an index fund, and I'll give you an example. You can do the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund or the Vanguard S&P 500 Index Fund, and then just compare the fees. And I guarantee those mutual funds are going to be higher fees. So a great hack, financial hack, is for you to switch from actively managed mutual funds to passively managed index funds. Number 8, use happy hours for your dinner out. Half price drinks, half price apps, go home full. I can't tell you how many times Kyle and I have taken advantage of happy hours over the years on Friday nights, and we go home just completely satisfied because the bill was so much cheaper. Now, a pro tip is you can use an app like Yelp to search restaurants and bars in your area that offer happy hours. You're gonna wanna take note of different happy hour dates and times, and then also what actually is on happy hour. Is it just drinks? Are they specific app? Is there some sort of entree or something more filling? I love doing this because then you can kind of sample a whole bunch of different things inside of the restaurant without having that big bill to pay at the end. This next financial hack, most people will not do because they think it's a pain and that it's going to take a lot of time. But I'm telling you, if you do this one, you are going to set yourself up for financial success. What I want you to do is look into your bank account right now and see what fees you're paying. Technology has changed a ton over the past decade, over the past 20 years, and so have banks. So you shouldn't have any fees for things like monthly maintenance or checks or low account balances or overdraft fees. So if you're paying for any of those things, my financial hack for you is to switch to a fee-free bank. All right, number 10, sinking funds. Let's talk sinking funds. This is something that a lot of people don't implement, but once you do, and once I've done this for myself in my own money management system, things got so much easier to pay for big things. Now, a sinking fund is a way to save monthly for a big purchase. Instead of scrambling to try to come up with all the money for an expensive plane ticket or a new car purchase or even like a new laptop, what you're going to do is figure out how much that particular item or service costs, and then you're going to save up for it monthly. All you need to do is figure out that total cost, figure out how many months you can save for it, and then divide it out into a monthly savings to yourself. A pro tip is you'll want to put that savings into a high yield savings account where you're earning interest so you can actually earn money on that savings, and then you'll have the cash ready to go. Now, most people don't plan ahead for things like this for a new car purchase or a new phone, but when you implement this system, it takes that headache out of trying to figure out how to pull from your budget right then and there. It makes it much more manageable to save for those purchases. Okay, so before I got into debt, I could not tell you how much money I was spending on things like clothes, entertainment, food, you name it. So when I started actually tracking my expenses for the very first time, I was shocked at how much money I was spending on some of these things. If that's you and you're feeling frustrated with, oh my gosh, I've spent $14,000 in the month, where's this money coming from? Write it down. Having a daily expense tracker is really going to help you figure out, okay, my big spending categories are restaurants or clothes, or maybe it's concert tickets, whatever the case for you. You're going to write it down and actually circle those big ticket items, and then you're going to actually plan and prepare a budget around it. A daily expense tracker is going to go a long way, whether you use a spreadsheet or a journal or a notebook. By the way, I actually just created a daily expense tracker on Amazon. It's a pocketbook that you can start writing this down, so check it out. I will link to it in the description box below. All right, number 12, I've talked to countless people about their cell phone data plans, and I've talked to people who have data plans anywhere from $60 a month all the way to $120 a month. It is ridiculous. Instead, what you want to do is work with a cost-effective cell phone carrier that's going to lower that data plan for you. So Mint Mobile offers a $30 unlimited data plan. I've been using them for years, and it saved me a ton of money on my cell phone data plan. Okay, number 13, lucky number 13. This is a game changer. Everybody wants to pay off their debt, right? I mean, who doesn't? The problem is a lot of people don't implement effective strategies to pay off their debt. They kind of just go for the one that's causing them the most pain. Typically, that's the one that has the highest interest or the highest balance. Instead, what you're going to want to do is take advantage of debt payoff calculators. This is a great financial hack. The one that I personally like using the best is from vertex42.com. They have a free debt payoff calculator. You can download it as an Excel spreadsheet or as Google Sheets. Plug it in, plug in all your numbers, and then it's going to tell you different debt strategies, the exact month and year that you are going to be paying off your debt. You can even play around with extra payment amounts and see how that impacts your debt payoff date. Now, you can use strategies like debt avalanche or debt snowball, stair stepper, or even a custom strategy. I really find that debt payoff calculators can go a long way as you're paying off your debt. Okay, so if you were tracking with me the entire time, which one was your favorite hack that you haven't tried? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't subscribed yet, why not come and join us for more financial tips and tricks as it relates to being a millennial, crushing debt, and achieving financial confidence, and I'll catch you in the next one.